What is paint by numbers? And why it's a helpful approach for beginners. Paint by numbers is a system where a picture is divided into shapes, each marked with a number that corresponds to a particular color. You paint each shape and ultimately the picture emerges as a finished painting. The paint by numbers approach is often ridiculed as being simplistic and uncreative. I believe it's helpful in getting across the concept that a painting is built up through multiple shapes of color. These shapes often don't make sense individually, nor look like anything real, but put together as a group they create the image. The next step in developing as a painter is to learn to see such color shapes for yourself. Completing a paint by numbers project helps you learn to analyze a subject and observe areas of color. It helps you move away from focusing on what the finished subject will look like to looking at small areas and what color these should be painted. Painting by numbers may not be as egregious a pursuit as one might imagine. Leonardo himself invented a form of it, assigning assistants to paint areas on a work that he had already sketched out and numbered. What is in Paint by Numbers kit? A Paint by Numbers kit will include a brush, little pots of paint in however many colors you'll need, and a printed outline of the picture. It may not look like much paint, but it should be sufficient paint for completing the picture. How to paint by numbers? It's tempting to paint so that you finish a section of the picture at a time, but that will necessitate a lot of brush washing and waste paint. Rather paint one color at a time, from the largest areas of this color to the smallest. Working from the top of the painting down helps prevent accidentally disturbing wet paint. By starting with the larger ones you'll be more practiced using the brush and paint by the time you get to the smallest areas, which can be quite fiddly to paint. Painting by numbers is an excellent exercise in brush control. You know exactly where the paint should go and so can focus entirely on getting it down there. Having the brush control to paint accurately up to an edge or specific point is a crucial skill that every aspiring artist needs to develop. You'll use it, for example, when painting a background behind an object, adding color in an eye, or darkening a shadow, and wherever you want a hard edge on an object. Tips for successful paint by the numbers. The brush supplied is usually a small one, to enable you to paint the smallest shapes in the painting. It can make painting larger shapes very tedious, so, if you've got a bigger brush, use this too. Start with either the darkest color and end with the lightest or the other way around, leaving any segments that have a mixed color till last. The reason I recommend doing the colors in sequence from dark to light, or the other way around, is that this helps you learn a little about the tone and chroma of colors. The contrast between the white, light tone, of the paper and the darkest color will be very stark. As you add each subsequent color, you'll see how they impact on one another, influencing the way each looks. Keep a jar of clean water for washing your brush to hand, as well as a cloth for wiping and drying the brush. Don't dunk the brush into the paint all the way up to the ferrule, just the tip. Rather pick up paint more frequently than have a glob of it fall off onto the painting. Be patient. Don't splay out the hairs of the brush in an attempt to paint in an area more quickly. This will quickly ruin the brush and destroy the fine tip. Apply gentle pressure to bend the tips of the hairs slightly and glide the brush along the surface. Think of it as the paper, or canvas, pulling the paint off the brush rather than using the brush to push the paint down. Now that you know how to paint by number, let me show you some finished paint by numbers kits from people just like you who are passionate about DIY arts and painting. We, at Apple Blossoms, help aspiring painters get results in the fastest, soonest possible time. If you want to enrich that inner artist in you, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we will guide you from spectator into a new canvas painter, producing a masterpiece painting in 30 days, even if you have never painted before in your life. Thank you for watching, and visit our channel for more tutorial and informative videos. Thanks.